Hey YouTube, how are you? Oh my god, I don't know what to say right now or how exactly I'm feeling. I just feel good, but at the same time, I'm just like in between, you guys. I don't know exactly what to tell you about how I feel. I'm in between my feelings. I don't know if I should be excited or if I should be sad. I don't know what to do. Yeah, so you can actually judge by my smile that it's certainly good news, right? So I took the NCLEX exam this morning. As I'm recording this video, it's just been it's just been 1 hour 30 minutes from the time the computer actually stopped giving me questions. So as soon as I did that, I left the exam center and then I took a car right back to my about 2 hours from the time that the computer actually stopped giving me questions, administering questions. 1st of April 2022, I took my exam at the Pearsonville Center in India. So I am working as a nurse in the UAE, that's the United Arab Emirates, as a registered nurse. So I took the exams as well for the UAE, but it's not the same as the NCLEX. But yeah, I took the exams today. I got to the test center at 6:45 a.m. My exam was supposed to start at 8 a.m., but I got there at 6:45, okay? So I arrived India 2 days ago and I found like a private driver to take me around because I didn't know nowhere in India, in Mumbai specifically. I didn't know no one here, no place here, so I had to make sure that I had my things put together. I had my exam center known. I was there 6:45 and actually went up to the first floor where the exam hall was, and then the security guy was like 7:30. He didn't even say anything. He just saw me and he was like 7:30. I said okay. So I went back and I sat close to the hall because I didn't know where to go. And I always like to be early for for my exams, especially for most things, but for exams especially, I don't always want to take chances at all. At all. I had to use the bathroom because I was so nervous. I was panting and the examiners could see that I wasn't really. And that's a good feeling that I always have. So whenever I'm facing something that big or something that I know I'll succeed at, I always pant. I always have this cramps all over my tummy. It feels like you're falling in love, that kind of thing. Or butterflies, some people say that. So I always feel those things, okay? So whenever I start feeling those things, I know there's gonna be a success. So I started having that feeling just from when I entered the test center. I started feeling like, yo, I was panting, I was sweating. When they asked me to give this or put this here, I'll be like, I always get that feeling. And when I got it this morning, I was like, I have this under control. So that's one secret with me. Each time I don't get that for anything, an exam, a test, or whatever, I always just feel bad because I know that I'll fail. My very first question was a select all that apply question. I was like, people always say that you get the easy questions, then you get the select all that apply to show that you're passing. So whenever you get a multiple choice question, it's usually an easy one, and then when you get a select all that apply question, is to tell you that you are passing, so they're trying to give you harder questions. But my very first question was a select all that apply, and I'm like, yo, what's going on? I answered the question and then I started multiple choice. When I did about 5 to 6 multiple choice questions, I got like 2 select all that apply, and then it took me down to or back to multiple choice questions. I did about 10 multiple choice questions. I got a select all that apply. I did about 2 multiple choice questions, select all that apply, 3 multiple choice questions, select all that apply, 5 multiple choice questions, select all that apply, and when I got to questions 70, when I got to questions 70, yeah, ooh, that's when I felt like, what's going on? Because question number 70 was a select all that apply, 71 was a select all that apply, 72 was a select all that apply, 73 was a select all that apply, 74 select all that apply, 75 was also a select all that apply. I'm like, what is this? Like five at the same time, like on a roll, pop, 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 5. I was panting, and when I got to the last select order, I felt my hand was literally shaking. Okay, I held the mouse, and I was trying to like focus. I was trying to really focus to understand the question and to answer the question, but my hands were panting. The hand that I was holding the mouse with wasn't giving me no rest at all. So I was really panting, and I felt like, ooh, I think the end has come for me, because because it's not like I was hoping for 75 questions. No, I wasn't. Throughout my preparatory stages, I watched several videos on YouTube on people encouraging others that you shouldn't focus on getting 75 questions, because the number of questions you get do not actually determine if you're going to pass or you're going to fail. So I was like, okay. The lady who was the examiner, she quickly came to me. I believe she was watching the whole thing over the CCTV. So she came right to me and she was like, look, your exam is over. You have these questions. If you like to take them, you can do it, but it's optional. She said it's optional. When I left the test center, I received an email from Pearson VU. I will tell you guys the exact time. So I left the test center at about 11 a.m. because I took it for 3 hours. I received their email, Pearson VU confirmation. Okay, so this message came to me 13 minutes after I finished my NCLEX RN exams. I didn't receive it until I got to the hotel room where I got connected to the Wi-Fi. And when I read it, I quickly understood, because I watch a lot of videos on YouTube, like I said, and I saw that once you receive a message from Pearson VU after taking your exams, then you can go try the PVT, which is a Pearson VU trick, right? So actually went and tried the trick right after I got to my hotel room. People said you can wait for like 2 to 4 hours. I don't have that patience, you guys. I'm sorry, but I had to check the Pearson VU trick. Reasons being that I received that email, and one of the YouTubers that I watched said that the moment you receive that email, it means that Pearson VU has received your test result, so you can go ahead and do whatever you want to do. So I had to go immediately to the PVT, that trick. And so the trick, basically, I could make a video on how to do the trick some other time, but when I checked, there's something they say that whenever you do the Pearson VU trick, you will receive either a good pop-up or a bad pop-up. A good pop-up is something like it's something that will tell you that your chances of passing. People say it's chances of passing. Other people say it's 100% chance that you've passed, and people say other things about it. But I would take it to be that you've passed, because actually you've passed. Yeah. So I checked at 11:41 a.m. 11:41 a.m. That's less than 30 minutes from the time I received the NCLEX message on my email address. Okay, it says that almost there. Our records indicate that you have recently scheduled this exam. another registration cannot be made at this time. That's what I got, and that's what is called a good pop-up. So I felt really happy because I'm sitting right here in my hotel room. I'm making this video right after the good pop-up that I received, and I'm so happy and I'm so excited to share this journey with you guys because I want to be able to encourage someone out there. Some things I would say are this: do not expect to finish your NCLEX at 75 questions. Prepare your mind to finish at any level, be it to take the whole list of questions, and I don't even know like how many questions were supposed to be there normally, things like that, so I don't really know, but just prepare your mind to finish your exams. Okay, prepare your mind for that, so that when you get to the 75-point mark, you wouldn't feel any different. You just keep doing it as, oh, I'm taking my exam, I'm still in the process, and I'll keep taking this exam and I'll pass the exam. Have that positive mindset and do not limit yourself to 75 or 100 of those. And I'll tell you my experience. It's actually my first time taking the NCLEX, my very first time taking the NCLEX. For the NCLEX, I used two resources. What? Two resources, okay? And I believe most of you can guess already. So I used UWorld, the almighty UWorld, you guys, and I used Mark Klimec. So I started studying on the 10th of March. That's the day that I put on my calendar that, hey, look, I have to study, you know. On the 10th of March till the 21st of April is 1 month and 11 days. So that's 5 weeks and some change. And I felt like, at some point, I felt like the time was too much because I had exhausted UWorld, and then I started re-answering the questions again. So on the 5th of March, on the 5th of April, I don't know why I keep saying March. On the 5th of April, I took my very first UWorld assessment, and I got a high chance of passing with 45. How do we say that? 45th percentile. Yeah, at 59%. So UWorld said that I had a high chance of passing the NCLEX. That was on the 5th of April. Exhausted 2,000 plus questions on UWorld. I didn't understand all the questions. I will not sit here and lie to you. I understood a majority of the questions. I understood the rationales. I understood reasons why this answer option was the correct one, and reason why this answer option wasn't correct. So I did my best to understand the answers, the rationales, and everything behind it as much as I could. Okay, so I actually had a notebook. My book is where's my notebook? It's in my bag. Sorry, you guys, and my phone is sitting right on that bag. So actually, I had a ledger, a big book, okay, where I would actually write down my rationales, because I'm that person who learned by seeing and writing. So when I see something, it sticks, okay, and when I write it, it sticks even more. So I had to be writing all the rationales. Even if I had to copy some things and paste, I would just do it, because the more I do that, the more I grasp the concept. So I had to keep doing that for all of this 2,000 plus questions. Okay, so it took me 20 days to exhaust 2,000 plus questions on UWorld. I know a lot of people who would say I went missing, friends and family, because I didn't really tell people about this. Just a few people knew. So the people who didn't know, they were like always, where are you? What's going on? You know, I was away from social media, away from all sources of distraction. I had to finish my Q bank in 20 days. Okay, so when I finished the Q bank, like I said, I started feeling relaxed, but I was like trying to beat myself over that, because I really didn't want to relax. I wanted to keep doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it until I finished. But I couldn't help it. Some days I'll feel like I wish I had actually taken this test sooner. I wish I had booked this test sooner. But because I had already booked my flight and my hotel reservation, I couldn't, like, change the date to a sooner date, so I had to just go with the 21st of April, which is today. So when I finished the UWorld Bank and I did my first assessment, I felt pretty confident. And then I kept trying to study, even though I wasn't doing as much as I did in the past 20 days. But I tried my best to do something at least each day. I was trying to do 50 questions a day after the first assessment. Before the first assessment, I was doing like 100 questions, 110 a day. Okay, and I dedicated everything for that. I stayed out of work. I had to kill myself to pass the NCLEX, because imagine taking almost 2 months off work with no salary, not passing. I would have been the most frustrated person ever. So whenever I was praying to God, I was stating these things to God. I was like, hey God, look, there's no way I should fail. Look at all the circumstances, the situations surrounding me. There's no way I could fail. Even when I went on the airplane, I told myself, look, I wouldn't go through all this stress to travel overseas to take an exam to fail. It's not for show. I mean, I'm not going for a fashion show or whatever. I'm going to take this exam and I'm going to pass. I kept telling myself those positive things and kept telling myself those until today. Most people always ask about the eve of their exams, what they should do. So this is what I did on the eve of my exam. Yesterday, in my hotel, I was grateful because there was this expo kind of thing going on in my hotel. The Indian people came over to showcase their businesses, and you had several stores, and then you can visit them and talk, spend the day in that place. Okay, it was so fun. You had to buy your ticket, and then you had complimentary food and everything else. So I was right there, okay, and I was going around the clock. And hey, oh my God, I'll update you guys with what happens next. And I was interviewed for a TV station by a TV station in India, because I was the only black person in that hall. I mean, the only non-Indian in that hall. Okay, I was the only stranger, the only foreigner, the only foreign human being in that hall. So the TV station kind of like were interested in me. Plus, I was dressed nicely and looking good. I was wearing something similar to this but black color, and they came to me and they were like, hey, since you're attending this program, could we interview you and blah blah blah. I was like, why not? And then that, so I will definitely be looking forward to that, to be on TV in India. Okay, so yeah, that's how I spend most of the day, because it was from 11 to 5. Okay, I spent the entire day in that occasion. I spoke to several people, interacted with them. I just tried to take my mind off of the exams. But I had my little tiny book with me where I jotted down certain things that I would like to look at, especially medications, because I hated psych medications. Those things were giving me a lot of trauma, okay? And I would listen to my Klimec's psych medication video every morning. For 2 weeks before I took the test, every morning I'll listen to that 1 hour plus video, and I would try to grasp whatever I could grasp, because I have this kind of a brain. I cannot force anything into it. If I don't understand, I do not understand. I cannot force it. I cannot cram. I cannot do nothing with my brain. So that's why I made sure I had to listen to it every day to see if I could grasp anything from it, So I grasped the little that I grasped from it, and I had psych questions, but psych med, I think I had just maybe one question about psychiatric medication. So thank God for that. So I had the book with the medications that I could just throw my eyes on and look at certain things. Those 2 resources. I used UWorld Bank, okay, with 2 assessments. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you, I actually took the second assessment. I took the second UWorld assessment 3 days to my exam. That was on the 18th, before my flight. So the day of my flight, I woke up in the morning, I took the exam first. The predictor exam said that I still had high chances of passing. At that time, the second exam was difficult, guys. It was more difficult than the first one. Yeah, I didn't even know I was going to pass the second UWorld assessment, but I had a 40 percentile with a 58%, and they said that I still had high chances of passing. So that kind of calmed me a little bit, because during the test I was feeling really down. I was like, yo, did I forget all the things or what's going on? But literally the second assessment was just difficult. It wasn't about me, okay? It was just hard. So the first one was taken 2 to 3 weeks before my test, and then the second one was taken 3 days before my exam. And here am I sitting here in my hotel room, not knowing if I should be jumping and not knowing if I should be crying. But I had a good pop-up, you guys, and I'm so excited. I'm just waiting to receive the email for my license and all of that. And I'm really grateful. It was my first try, and I did everything that I had to do to pass this test. Yes, I studied. I took time off work and I studied. People said a lot of things, you know. Some people said, hey, I know people who've taken this for 3, 2, 4, 5 times and they didn't pass. And I was like, oh my God, this must be a very difficult test. So in conclusion, I would say that NCLEX is not a super difficult test, okay? NCLEX is not a super difficult test if you prepare yourself. If you prepare yourself for NCLEX, it's not going to be difficult, because you'll be literally doing the things that you've seen. And please, I'm begging you, use UWorld to prepare. If you don't know how to use it, I can help you. Use UWorld, but the truth is, use UWorld, you guys. Please, use UWorld. UWorld is very helpful. It's a very helpful resource. It resembles the NCLEX. It prepares you on, you know, you keep getting several questions, you know, like getting different questions, okay, explaining the same thing. Like you get a question about something, and then you turn around and you get another question about the same thing, but in a different way. That's, you're getting similar questions about a particular topic or a particular system. It will stick in your brain, you guys. Like, UWorld is so great. UWorld prepared me. And my Klimec, oh my God, watch my Klimec videos too. So when I started off, I didn't know where to start. I didn't know what to study, how to start studying. And then I found my Klimec. I don't know how I found him anyway. So I listened to all of his 12 sessions, 1 to 12. I listened to all of those sessions 2 times, okay? And then each session was listened twice. And then I took down notes on all the sessions. So I have my notebook with my Klimec audios transformed into words. So I have a book. I don't know how I'm gonna call my own book. Maybe it's the he has his blue book and the yellow book. Maybe mine would be the green book. I don't know, whatever I would call it, or the brown book, because I'm brown, whatever. So my Klimec was the first resource that I used. And when I did his videos, when I listened to his videos and took down notes 2 times each per video and took down notes, I reread those notes, and then I bought my UWorld, which I might have deleted my flight information.